Alrighty, you guys, as promised, part two. I feel a little bit better. My voice is back to normal. In regards to trauma, right? I think I've been viewing this and still in the starter and not to the fully end goal of it all. Because who's to say, when do you actually, or do you ever get past trauma? Or is it just stuck with you for life? But when you take the time out, like I was talking about in prior episodes, you just understand, like, okay, this is what I went through. At this point, I just have to accept it, never go back to it, but just move on with life. But what do you do when it hits you unexpectedly and you're just like, hey, I thought I was past this. What is this right now? You just got to do what I did earlier. You just got to sit there and cry it out. I mean, it's nothing else to really do, because one option will be, hey, lose your mind, act crazy, reach back out to the person or those people or whatever that made you feel like that in the first place. Or we could do a logical step, which is, I'm going to sit here and get in my feelings for a moment. Even if you by yourself, if you're around a group of people or whatever, just excuse yourself, go somewhere else, or just be like, hey, I'm about to take you home. I'll reach out to y'all later or whatever. Or maybe some people actually feel better when you're surrounded around a group of people and stuff like that. But it varies from person to person. But what we have to do is sit here and deal with it. I mean, you can't pass it. Like I always talk about, we cannot go backwards. We cannot change anything that has happened in life. Everything happens for a reason. Absolutely nothing is accidental. Like nothing. And like I always say, like even when it comes down to those bad instances, even though you just looking like this should have never happened, but you can kind of look at it in a sense like, you know what? If I didn't go through certain things in my life, I wouldn't be as strong as I am now. Me personally, I look at it as God will never ever in life give you something that's so hard that you can't handle. I look at instances like that, like you're giving this to me because clearly you have something bigger for me. You literally have something bigger for me, because with what I've been through, I feel like I can handle everything at this point. So, in every negative, I always sit here and I try my hardest to sit here and find a positive in it, because what's a negative in a negative? You ain't gonna get nothing good from that. That's why, like I always say, I only talk about instances that I've been through or I'm going through right now. Because, of course, who wants to sit here and cry all day and night? Nothing's going to change just because you crying. You crying yourself to sleep. You crying yourself to drink. Crying yourself to smoke. Okay, after you numb the pain and everything, what are you going to do when you wake up and you're back to normal? Are you going to sit here and dwell on yesterday? Or are you going to make the best out of today? Because, like I always talk about, we never know when the last day is going to be. That's why we got to sit here. And even though it's hard, you know what I'm saying? We still out here struggling, still trying to make it. But at the end of the day, when we getting off work, or after you just had a stressful day or whatever, and you just made it home, or you made it to your car, or you got on your bus, you got on a train, or you do what I used to do, just be out here walking or whatever. We just seriously have to be grateful for the little things. Well, what we think they are, like the little things that we have, because there's so many people in the world right now that is literally sitting here just craving for a bed or craving for a phone or just having people they can talk to. It's a lot of people out here that want the things that we just look at as normal. And that's really where we be messing up at in society. I am starting to really realize that, like, we cannot take, I'm going to go to sleep mad and just wake up in the morning. Who's to say that you're going to have the ability to wake up tomorrow? That's why I do not want to go to sleep when I'm mad at somebody. I know that other episode. I ain't going to bring it up. I already cried today. I'm not crying again. But I try my hardest not to go to sleep mad at somebody, because you just never know. Like, even if it boils down to the people that y'all be talking to on a daily basis, it's like everyone is not going to sit here, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's whatever. Some people just want to be private. So when they're going through rough times and hard times right now, they don't want to sit here and put that on you, or what I used to feel like now. Now, after today, I don't feel like that. I would just say, I'm about to tell you how I'm feeling or whatever, but whatever your response is, or like whatever you thinking, like, don't pity me. Like, don't do that. Because if I gotta explain when I talk about my feelings, clearly I shouldn't say it to you, because I'm assuming that you're just gonna take pity on me and not really care what I'm saying, as always. So I'm about to get personal, like I always do. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I just did not know that I was not fully healed with trauma issues. But anyway, when we are trying to level up in the next step in our life, those walls that we have, it's like you can't get any further if you're not breaking walls down. You can't be sitting here, example, yeah, I'm mad at the way he or she did me, so I'm about to get with you now, but I'm not going to come in clean and leave all that mess with him and her. I'm going to bring it in here, you know what I'm saying, just in case of you trying to play me. If you got to sit here and bring in the past into your present, you don't need to be there right now, because this new person, they didn't do anything to you. Why would you treat them like that? And then when you sit there and you treating them like your past or whatever, you can't be mad when they be different and then they start treating you different, and then you come to the conclusion, wow, you just like the rest. Actually, no, you brought your past in, so I was matching your energy. And that's another thing, that matching energy, I don't know. I used to be like that. I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Because if you got to sit here and match somebody's energy, you're literally turning into them. If you're trying to be surrounded around people that are on your level or above, sidebar, I love it when you meet people, or like you meet a person that they're literally at the goal where you're trying to go to. I just love it. It's no hate, no none of that. Like, wow, he or she over me right now. I don't want to be by them because I'm going to get in my feelings because I ain't there yet. You're right. You don't need to be around them because they ain't doing nothing to you. What are they doing? They sitting there putting work in. So that can also be another trauma, though. It really could be. Like, I'm never where I should be, and I'm always surrounded around those that are above me. But a trauma like that, you can fix that, because the answer to that is get on your grind and get it together. Because even if you come across somebody that had help, like someone helped them, that's why they're a little further, that's on them though. You don't know how their life has been though. Maybe this is the first time they've ever received help. So you can't judge nobody. You don't know that person. Don't judge them. Well, we get judged every day. But at that point, it's like it is what it is. This trauma, though. This trauma, though. This trauma crazy. Don't let it overtake you, though. Because if it overtakes you, what's going to happen? All you're going to do is fall back into where you were. It's okay. I look at trauma like it could be a test too. Like, think about it. If he or she think she's so built up and everything, let me bring up something. Or let's talk about something that I know it's going to make them feel some type of way. Watch them sit over there and act crazy. Or she or he about to sit over there and cry or whatever. Or they about to sit here and fight. Nah. I might say, let me go to the bathroom real quick, though. I might go in the bathroom and cry a little bit, though. But you ain't going to see it. Your intent is to break me. That's another thing. We got to build ourselves up so high that we become unbreakable. Like, you can't break me. I done been through some things in my life, and I'm telling you, you cannot break me. You cannot sit here and hurt my feelings. Why? Because I know who I am. I know who I'm going to be. And I know what I'm working on right now. If you're trying to break that person down, you should have met me years ago. I would have broke instantly. But after all this prayer, after all this being alone, finding me again, I will never be broken again. And I'm going to go back to the therapy, right? I'm going to go back to the therapy and the therapist. That's like... I'm really trying to look into therapy, and I hate it. Like I always talk about, I hate it in the Black community, how we sit here and be like, that's for white people. I'm not going to therapy. Whatever, you don't go. I'ma go. Because I'm just trying to be better in life. It's just certain things. In an instant like that, that's when I would say it's cool to sit here and talk to an outsider, because that person does not know you from a can of paint. They actually know absolutely nothing about you until you start talking to them. So yeah, I think therapy would be good. And I found this Black therapist. I want to see what's going on. I hope it's good. I was reading her intro and everything, and she was like, yeah, I deal with anxiety and, trauma and stuff. I was like, oh, girl, I got to hit you up. So once I get in contact and I start the process, of course, I will let you guys know. But without me even starting therapy or whatever, sitting here talking to you guys, that's really, really therapeutic for me. Like, I just love it. But that trauma, we have to bypass that, and we have to know how to take it when it arises at any time. Anybody can do it. It's okay. Don't freak out. We got this. If you need your space, you need your time, that's cool. Do what you got to do to get you together. Like I always say, I understand this is probably another one of my trauma issues, because you have to be wary of those people that they'll sit here, they'll ask you for something, and it's about to be 24. And now, no is like in the air. You ain't in the mood. You don't have it. You don't want to do it. No. just say no. But a lot of people don't want to hear no. I talk about that. But if somebody tell me no, don't trip. I'm going to get it done. That's no problem. But for those that want the help or need the help or whatever, if you're not where you are right now, it is absolutely fine to sit here and tell somebody no. Or, hey, I can't do that right now. Or, my mindset isn't there right now. I can't do it. I'm sorry, but no. And then they want to sit here and throw it in your face. Wow, that's crazy. Like, you bugging for real. Like, when I was in the midst of whatever I was going through, I made sure you was okay. And like, that's a guilt trip though. That's a guilt trip. Because I mean, not trying to be funny or none of that, but if it was that bad and if you were in a place that bad, you should have said no. Not showing how, like, I'm about to be ungrateful right now because you was in tough times, but you got it done for me. It's not like that. The place that I'm in right now, I cannot mentally, physically, and emotionally take care of the both of us right now. I just can't do that. You just have to let me get myself together. And a lot of people, they don't respond well to that. And at that point, that's when the famous seasons come in. And it's like, every time something goes on in my life, and if I can't be there for you, if it's that serious for you, like, you don't really care about my mental or care about how I'm doing, but just trying to make sure it's all about you, I don't need you here right now. Because I would rather be surrounded around absolutely no one than being surrounded around a group full of people and no one cares about me. That's crazy. If I'm around a whole bunch of people and y'all don't care about me, why am I even around y'all? I could just be by myself in my house and watching Lifetime or something. So that's why I don't care what nobody say. Everybody and everything has a season in your life. Who's to say you supposed to sit here and be in your apartment or in that car or at that job or surrounded around those people just for the end of this year? Who knows what 24 is going to bring us? I feel it. I really do. It feels like 24 is going to be a great year because I feel like this year was just a realization year. That's what 23 was about. Like, we're kind of on the path of, I know what I want and I'm getting at it. Like, I'm almost there. I can kind of see it. Don't trip. 24 is going to be it. We going to be doing nothing but being up. We going to get there. Whatever we got going on in our mind or whatever we're currently working on, it will be done. Just be consistent. Y'all keep praying on it and watch everything gonna change. 24 is gonna be such a great year. I just feel it. We just have to get through the rest of this year and keep it, to a certain extent. We still keep it on us to make sure that we are still the number one priority. Because if you don't make yourself a priority, how are you going to make somebody else a priority? How are you going to be there for them if you're not even there for yourself? So, number one, we got to make sure we're good at all times. And if you don't have the mental ability, if you don't have the financial ability, don't do anything for anyone, because all that's going to turn into, it could possibly turn into resentment. Like, wow, if I didn't do this for you, I wouldn't be here right now. But you can't do that because you did it for that person. That is not their fault, because if you truly couldn't do it, you shouldn't have done it. And that accountability is at an all-time high. It's okay. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'll be wrong. All of us be wrong. If you're wrong, just sit here and admit it. That's fine. When I be messing up, I don't care. I'm human. We make mistakes all day, every day. We just have to try not to make the same mistakes again. Of course, it's not going to be a one and done. We might do it halfway and then realize what we doing. Like, you know what, this is too much. My bad. I feel where this is going. I'm not trying to go there. So, the end of this episode, trauma is just, it's going to stay. I don't even know if I would say that it could get better, because I don't know how trauma could get better. If anyone has anything differently to say, you guys know. Voice messages are open. You guys have my Instagram and my TikTok and my Facebook. So let me know something if you guys disagree with that. I feel like trauma won't change. You'll just be able to deal with it better. And the way you move in life will be different. But it's always a pleasure talking to you guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And I hope this episode helps someone out there just to change the mindset a little bit, or to understand getting emotional at times. That's cool, because I feel like when you cry out, you're letting out that hurt. So the next time you think about it, it doesn't hurt that much. You just know how to move. You move a little better now. That's it. Alrighty, you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.